Hi there, Paul again from SkillsTX to take you through Michael's career journey, and we're going to look at it from the point of view of exploring options that might be open to Michael and how they relate to the organisational requirements for skills. So we work on two main data sets. There's many more of course, but the two main ones are the skills that we have. For Michael, that's represented here in his skill profile. We discussed previously about how we ensure that that data is accurate with evidence, etc. The other data set, which is absolutely critical, are the required skills. That translates usually to a job or a role when it's down at an individual level, but when we roll that all up together, it's the organisational requirement for skills to meet current and future demands. So that again is a concept that we've got built in right from the individual. You can see Michael has got a current skill requirement, and he's got a future one based on where his career trajectory is heading. In this case, very clear, currently a project manager, builds up more experience and eventually moves into a senior project manager role. So that's already in place, but what if Michael wants to explore a little bit more about what's available? So across the top here, this is some simple guidance. So Michael can go and review his skills. If I select this, it will drop me into edit mode. We've seen that previously, won't bother now. And if we select 2, you can see what it is. Assign current and future requirements. So I'm going to come into this. It's immediately took me into showing me vacancies. So I can sort and see if there's anything there that might match my skills. But what I want to do is be a bit broader. What about just looking at the overall jobs requirements within the organisation? So I'm going to click assign, and now it's giving me a much broader view. So these aren't necessarily vacancies, it's just a list of, in this case, usually jobs that I can explore. And again, I can do a sort, and I can see my current job that's been selected here is project manager, and the future one is selected as senior. But you can see I'm actually a match for other roles here. So might be that Michael is interested in specialising in becoming a Scrum Master. He's 24% already there. Click on it and it's going to load up the Scrum Master requirement, just like a full position description. So we've got purpose, we've got accountabilities, there's lots of others as well that we could include. Qualifications, etc, etc. So you can see we've got that there, and then down here are the skills that are required for that particular role. So the system can be configured that Michael can select current and future, or one or other of them, or none of them. Depends how much latitude the organisation wants to give their employees. But normally this would be a conversation with leadership, but you can see at least we can go and explore. So from a user point of view, having that ability to see all of the jobs in the system, understand how you compare to them, there may or may not be vacancies as well, but just to look at other options for your career, a really strong retention aspect to that. But one of the questions, of course, how do we create a skill requirement? This is a SFIA based skill requirement. Most organisations don't start with SFIA at the heart of their position descriptions or their jobs. So let's have a look at what we've got available to assist. First of all, we've got an option to load up samples. So we can go into samples. If I want a DevOps engineer, I can type that in. It's going to find everything that's got DevOps, and I can select it and copy it. So what that will do is take it from the sample environment and bring it into my live environment. So that's one way, and then I can go and edit it from there. I can upload from work that might have been done externally, so working with professional services to help you define the roles and the jobs, and then we can just import. But we've also now got an advisor. So I've loaded in an AI agent here. This is RequirementIQ. I can upload a document, so I can take maybe an old position description, or even a new one for that matter, but doesn't have SFIA codes in it. Just load it in and it will analyze it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually just type in a description. So I'll just pause while I type. Okay, I've typed in a pretty reasonable description here. Please create a junior cyber analyst for a large enterprise. The role is no direct reports, but I will support graduates. Okay, so I'm going to let the system do its thing. I'm just going to put an extra word there just to make sure we're specifying that it actually is a role we're after, and I'll let it do that and we'll come back in a second. Okay, so what the agent has done here, it's looked at the whole of SFIA, it's looked at generic attributes and behaviors, so it's listed those. These are around the levels we would expect. So you can see we've got a mix of level 3s and level 4s. Down here, it's identified required skills and the level that those skills are at. Down here, it's also identified some desirable skills. Scroll further down, it's reinterpreted the description and fleshed that out. So that's effectively the purpose statements, if you will. And then we've got the reasoning as to why each of them has been selected. And now I've got an option. I can restart that if I don't like the look of it, or what I can do is type yes, and it's going to take me through a little dialogue. Give it a name and a reference number. It's what we'll be using later on if we're doing any updates to this via an import. And there you go. It's now created that role in the system. A few really important factors here. It's currently inactive. Nobody can see it, and it's set it as AI draft. I can come into this and change the status and move it through. Clearly it needs some human oversight, probably maybe workshops with the cyber team, just to make sure those skills are exactly what we want. I'm just going to come out and we'll have a look at what that looks like in here. So this is the one I've just created. If I click on it, it's going to take me into the edit, and you can see it's got the skills and the behaviors, desirable and required skills. They all make perfect sense, to be honest. A couple of interesting ones there, but again, this is a starting point that we'd go through a review process. Once we've done that, in here, all as we do, I'll move this through really quickly. So we've done all the workshops, we've spoken to the head of the department, we're going to make it active, we're happy with it, and now we're going to make it visible to our employees. And now I've got a published job. So when Michael logs in, if he's got a match against that, it will show in the list, it will show the percentage. That happens automatically for every single user and every single job. We run the algorithm to do the matching. So hopefully you found that useful, just bringing this concept of a skill requirement into good use of skills taxonomy like SFIA, and how we bring those two data sets together and allow people to make good decisions.